Well, this week's Career Tech All-Stars goal is to become a forest ranger.
Meet Cousineau.
Hi, I'm Cousineau and I'm a Career Tech All-Star. Natural Resources is a program to learn and educate yourself on the outdoors. You learn everything from tree species to how to operate equipment. What drew my attention to this class was educating myself on the outdoors. I've always been an outdoor kind of kid. I plan to attend college and further my education in conservation law, become a forest ranger or a game warden. I really want to become a forest ranger because I help my community and it helps the environment so future generations can enjoy the things we enjoy today. Something that keeps bringing me back is the teachers. They're very helpful and the class is very hands-on, so it's something different every day. I'm Cousineau and I'm a Career Tech All-Star.